So Doug, is it possible for someone to change their vision, like actually make it better? And I'm not talking about with, corrective lenses or any of that kind of stuff, but actually physically make their eyes better.
It's a good question. The first thing that comes to mind when you ask that is patients sometimes seeing double, and we see single. You and I are seeing single right now because our left eye is turned in a little bit and our right eye is turned in a little bit, and it's focusing right at you. And then when if I want to look across the parking lot, my eyes turn out a little bit, no longer at you, but something farther past you. Those are muscles. Those muscles that turn the eye in and out and up and down and then rotate the eye like that. Sometimes people see double and kind of chronically double because one of their eyes, one of the muscles that moves the eye is weak. And so I can turn this eye in and out, but this eye is kind of stuck in this position. So if I turn my other eye in that position, I can see single. But if I want to look over here, I see double. And so you asked me, can you improve your eye and improve your vision? It's hard to improve the resolution of the retina, right? It's hard to improve the resolution of the cones or the rods. But what you can do is improve your muscle function sometimes and learn to strengthen that muscle. It's one of the main things that we check for in eye exams in children, right? Oftentimes new parents will ask me, well, when do I need to get my kids' eyes checked? And the answer is usually twofold, is before they enter kindergarten or before they turn age 5, or immediately if you see their eyes look lazy or not connected or drifting apart. Because those muscles that move the eyes and develop the eyes and point the eyes are sometimes lazy as a kid. But if you catch it early enough, you can turn that eye in, strengthen that muscle, and improve their stereo vision. And so they're not seeing double or not losing out on depth perception, on stereo vision, right? Our eyes are not just amazing cameras, but also 3D cameras, right? Because we have two of them specifically designed, say, 6 centimeters apart. And if you lose that, if you have one eye that's lazy, the brain is just it's not going to perceive double vision your whole life. That would be so annoying. Your brain is just going to use the function of your left eye and ignore this lazy right eye. And so you can still see if you have a lazy eye sometimes, but you're not going to see with stereo vision. You're not going to see with depth perception.
Yes, like looking through a monocle as opposed to binoculars.
Which is not the end of the world, but still not as nice as it could be. So it's hard to improve the resolution of the camera, right? But you can do certain things like that.
So is that why when I go to see my optometrist, that they do the whole, all right, follow my finger or follow the light to make sure that the muscles are moving the way that they should be moving on all sides of the eye or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. And you'll often go to a neurologist and she'll do the same thing. And sometimes your primary care, depending what the complaint is. I find all of that stuff really very fascinating. When we're looking and we're having a patient look up and follow my finger and go this and that way, we're looking at 3 different things really. The first thing is when we're making the movements, we're looking to see, are their eyes able to follow my finger in a steady rate? Right?
Smooth transition.
Exactly.
Movement, yeah.
Smooth pursuits, we say. And you're supposed to do it 2 seconds. Take 2 seconds from the patient's looking all the way to the left, 1 second to the middle, and then 1 second when they look over to the right. If you have a problem with this type, if you have damage to this type of your brain, you'll be able to see everything, and you'll be able to look to the right and look to the left, but you won't be able to smoothly go from the right to the left. You'll do so in a series of jerks, what we call nystagmus. And you can't follow anything smoothly. It'll just be
like the second hand of a clock.
Yeah, that's a nice analogy. Yeah, like the second hand of a clock. So that's the first thing that we look at when we're doing the follow my finger. The second thing we look at is, are they able to extend all the way up? like that. Maybe you have damage to one of your muscles, and you can go all the way to the left, and then you can go all the way to the right with your right eye, but you only make it half of the way to the right with your other eye. We see that, we do other tests, and then you kind of try to figure out where the damage is. And I think part of the reason that I like being an eye doctor, or any kind of like doctor would enjoy his or her field, is putting together these clues, trying to solve the mystery, right? And we're doing these exam findings. The patient can kind of sometimes be very specific about his or her complaint, and sometimes the symptoms are more vague, right? They don't really exactly necessarily know exactly what's wrong. But we'll do these tests, and that's one of the tests. And if the patient can't extend all the way out, then we know, well, there's a problem with that muscle, and that probably means there's a problem with the nerve that controls that muscle. And then you go from there. So there's a lot to it. The other thing, you'll see police officers do that same test, right? Follow my finger. And the reason they're doing that is not necessarily to check the innervation of the third cranial nerve or sixth cranial nerve, but they're doing it to see if you're losing that ability to smoothly follow. Because alcohol is one of the first things that it affects, one of the many things it affects, is the ability to smoothly follow someone's fixation. And so that analogy that I used earlier, that you used about the second hands, that's what your eyes look like when you're trying to follow the finger when you're drunk, is a second hand instead of a smooth, sweeping second hand.
Hey folks, connecting with your benefits is our primary mission, and the SITREP is providing more options than ever.
Subscribe to our free email newsletter, subscribe to our audio podcast channel, or subscribe to our content on YouTube.
For details and links, check out the description below.